I see companies all the time. It's no shocking that they don't get any innovation because they don't want innovation. They say they do, but then innovation is by nature uncomfortable, has sharp edges, bites very hard, hits you very hard. You want to know if you have innovation? At least 50% of the people you talk to have to hate the idea. If everyone likes the idea, there's no innovation. In Poland in the mid-90s, we needed to grow our sampling. When you sample P&G products, people adopt them. There was massive amounts of research and understanding on sampling. The best was to do things like door-to-door sampling and things where we would do one-on-one contact. Now, the problem in Poland at that time was 50% of the population was in rural areas. So it wasn't like Taipei. Sampling Taipei, you go into a building and you just go floor to floor to floor and you knock on door. Okay, it's easy. Now we're in Poland. 50% are rural, and those 50% are not in buildings, they're on farms. And more than 50% of the time, there's snow on the ground. So we were doing these tests with these samplers, carrying a bag of 20 kilo of stuff, hiking through 1 meter deep snow, trying to get a house door, and none of it paid out because they couldn't make the number of calls per day and all this stuff. And so we sit around brainstorming, say, is there a place that they collect, like they meet? And then, we started talking about stores and stuff like that. And then it comes up that really the only place they meet is at church on Sunday. And I say, okay, let's sample at the Catholic churches. And people looked at me like I was, and I'm Catholic. I went to Catholic schools. So what is the issue of giving out a pack of product at Mass? What's the issue? What's wrong? Would people be upset? They would love it. So the first step we did is we dispatched, and I was involved, and we went to Rome and we talked to the Pope and his associates. And we got agreement from the Vatican to sample in the churches at the end of Mass. So we had agreed a whole protocol. The ladies wore dresses, the sampler, the men wore a suit. We stood in the back. We were dressed completely proper. We had sampling packs put together, and we would hand them out as they went out the door, and we would say, have a wonderful Sunday, and this is a gift from Procter & Gamble to you. And it would have a sample of toothpaste and a diaper and lots of shampoo and laundry, all the P&G products. Now, we agreed all that. We come back, and then I say, the biggest brand that really responds to sampling is always feminine protection. Now, this one, now you're getting real sensitive. Suddenly people are saying, you cannot put a FemPro product in a Catholic church. I said, what? Let's just step back. I'm a religious guy and I'm from the church. Women do menstruate. Now, we can avoid talking about it and we can bury our head in the sand, but in that room, all those women in there, except the senior citizens, are menstruating every month. So what made it dirty? This is God created us. There's nothing dirty in menstruation. And I said, now what we can do is we can put the samples in a box and say, these contain FemPro products, keep it out of the eyes of your children and all that. And lo and behold, I pushed that through, and we went and we nationally sampled 3,500 churches, all the masses. We sampled everybody. And the P&G business grew not just double digits, but like 35%, year on year. It was a booming year. Record on every record profit, record sales, record volume, record market share, record everything. And, that thing was nothing but a battle to get done because it was all these like paradigms of, you can't do that in a Catholic church. And, the church agreed. And I was at many of these masses, not all of them. I can't go to 3,500 churches, but I was in May. There was not one single negative person who, in this time in Poland, 1996, 1997, when the economy was very, very unstable, to get a free pack of product that was worth maybe $20, $25. Every single family was overjoyed and left with a smile.
This podcast is brought to you by Arcaro. To learn more about how Arcaro might help your organization adapt to a changing world, please visit our website, www.arcaro.com, More information in the show notes. Thank you.